All right, everybody, so I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to start tearing this bike apart, the DRZ. I'm not getting anywhere with trying to get compression out of it. I'm tired of wasting time. So it doesn't matter what I think. I'm going to get the crankcase oil drained out of it. I'm sure it's full of everything that passed by the piston rings. And I'm just accepting the fact that's what we're doing. Stay tuned. Why couldn't you been a good motorcycle? I'm sorry, baby. I know you've been through a lot. I know. I left you in the garage all by yourself. I know. Nobody take care of you and rev you up and clear out your throat. I know, baby. Today, we're going to be taking the top end apart on the DRZ. So today we're going to work on the valve cover. And I've got my manual. And it's not really that complicated. All right. GoPro, stop recording. The first thing they're telling us to do is take this horn off. All right. Get this horn out of the way. Okay. That's the horn. Put the bolt back so I don't lose it. Alright. I'll get a zip tie or something. I'm going to tie all that stuff out of the way when I'm ready to do it. This is the coolest ratchet. You can see why. Oh yeah. Take these vent lines off right here. It's a breather hose. This one comes off, and this one comes off. Really easy. And again, I'll tie those up out of the way. Then I'm going to take an Allen. It's an Allen set that goes in here. And I think if I have an extension, it works. Okay, so this bike's, the manual states that you need to, this is actually held under some spring tension from the cams. There's something about that. But it says you need to get the bike on top dead center. So that both cam lobes are facing, this lobe will be facing to the back, this one will be facing the front, and that means the cams aren't loaded up. There's no spring loaded on the cams. That's just what it said to take this cap off. So I'm just going to do like they said. We got right here, we take this cap off right here, and we take this cap off right here. This is where we put our wrench, our socket on this big nut that's in here, I think it's on the flywheel, and we rotate the motor. I got a little rubber straw I stick down there because I want that piston to go up and come down. And when that piston comes up, I should see a line. Okay? And when I see that line, I know I'm at top dead center, and my springs on my valves aren't loaded up at all. They're totally relaxed because the valves must be closed when that piston hits that compression stroke to explode that fuel and drive that piston down. And then the next time the piston comes up, it expels the gases, and that's when the lobes load up again. So, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the book says. And so I've got a huge Allen for this. I think it's this one. Nope, bigger than that. Look at that. And we'll be taking this cap off. Right? Because I want to look in this window right here, and I'll show you why in just a second. And so I marked my rubber straw. Do you see the mark right there? That's right. Here's the point I'm making. You got to get this piston at top dead center. All right? Now it's going to cycle around again. Now it's going to come back up. And I'm gonna stick my straw back down in there, my rubber tube that got pinched, which never happened. I know there'll be people telling you don't do this, but I'm taking the top end apart anyway. Okay, now I'm down in the cylinder again. Down in the cylinder, I'm gonna crank this thing until this straw starts coming up. I can feel it coming up right now. Now I've got a black mark on this straw. Wow, it keeps pinching the straw. There's something new. Back it off a little bit, get it freed up. Okay, now I'm back down on top of that piston. You see the mark? Watch. It's going to drop more. Okay, I want to bring it back. So I'm bringing it back up. Yeah, the straw's coming up. Okay, look. You can see the mark right there. This theory is a good theory. It's a good method. I've been using this. Can you see my mark? All right. Down there, you see the mark? The T? You see that? So that's telling me I'm at top dead center. All right. That's really important. Let me see if I can give you a better shot and rotate the motor. Look right in there. I'm going to back up a little bit. I want to do a full cycle. Do you see it? You see the mark? So when that mark shows up, that piston's at top dead center. And that's what they said we want to be, and that line on my hose tells me so too. I marked it as a reference a while back. Now the book says I can take the valve cover off. Okay guys, I want to show you something on this camshaft. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's an arrow. You see the little arrow? Right here is an arrow facing forward, and right there's an arrow facing forward. Then you got an arrow facing up where the blue dot is. You got an arrow facing up where the yellow dot is. That's where my cam needs to be set. When I realign everything, because the cam has to be set in a way that keeps everything in synchronization. Otherwise, the valves will open when the piston's coming up and you'll break a valve. So all this timing stuff has to be put together just exactly the same way. All right? And so I know I'm at top dead center. I got a 90-degree angle and another 90-degree angle, and that's how you can tell the deal, you know. And you got the T on the open window over here. The T will show up if you're bottom dead or you're top dead center, not the compression stroke. There's the T. You can see it. See it? Make sure you got that going on, and you know that you're at the top dead center of your compression stroke, and you're in a good position now to start taking everything apart. Alright. Alright, so the next phase of this, after I got this valve cover off, is to take the tensioner out. And what you want to do there is just loosen this bolt up first. Alright. You take this one off. Out. And if you're going to mess with this, you got to take it all the way out. Don't try to retighten it once you mess with it, because it screws up the tensioner. So you can't act like you're taking it out and then just go ahead and put it all back together. It's got to come totally out, and it's got to be reset. That's what the book is telling me, at least. So, see, it's under a spring. You see the spring? That spring sits inside that bolt. It's a special bolt. I loosened this up because I could take that off and gave me some distance. And so I want to hang on to this and put it somewhere clean. And then it says to take these off. Okay, and these are Allen's. And those come off too. And once those come off, this whole thing comes out. And then we're going to get into taking off the camshafts. All right. And so I'm telling you the way the book is telling me to do it. In the process, I'm to do this. This is your cam chain tensioner. It's metal and it's got up. So when you put it back in there, but I put the bolt with the spring back in there, and I've left these two on there, and I'm setting it in a box of parts. But now the manual says for me to go ahead and check my valve clearances on my bike. Because it's a top dead center, and it's a perfect opportunity for me to check the valve lash to sign out if I'm in spec. If I am, I don't got to worry about anything. So what I'm going to be doing is using a feeler gauge to check right here. Right here. This is where we're checking. We're going to slide, that's a bucket right there, and we're going to slide a feeler gauge down there and check the tolerances between the cam lobes. All right, and see if they're within tolerance. That's how you do that. So let's get after it. Okay, so the manual says for the exhaust valve, which is the one like that one, my tolerances can be 8 thousandths to 12, well, 800ths of an inch to 1200ths of an inch. Basically, it's 0.008 to 0.012. So as long as I'm within those parameters, I'm spec'd out okay on my valve clearance. So I'm going to try that right now. I've got the gauges in my hand. And if you don't know what gauges are, these are feeler gauges. And they'll have the numbers on them. This one is 005. This one is 0.006. This one would be 007 more than likely, but they're old, so it's hard to see. So we're going to see what happens. Let's see if we can get 006 in there. Since the exhaust has a clearance of, so this is 8, and it's anywhere from 8 to 12, it's good. So it slides in there. I would try a bigger one, but it's not on this one. So we're going to check, but that's how you do it. You slide that feeler gauge in there and you keep it as flat in the plane of the lobes you can, and you'll feel a little drag. I mean, that feels loose, so I'm going to go up to 9 or 10. Yeah, this is 9. Try 9 again. Let's try 9 again. See, it says 9. I don't know if you can see that. 009, and I'm good between 8 and 12. 10 won't go in there, but 9 will, with a little drag. So I'm going to log that down, and you're supposed to log it every time. I've got to write it down. You see my lobes now are facing away from the bike. That's how they're supposed to be. All right. So, yeah. Wonder what this one down here is. Let me check this one back here. Let's see what we get if we go in down here. Anyway, that's how you check your valves. And so, we at least know that this exhaust valve is in tolerance. It's in spec. I don't have to worry about it. And so get your feeler gauges and you check them. There'll be a little drag. And if you're curious, go to the next size up. Won't go in there. You know where you're at. And so once you take them off, they need to go back. Like this exhaust camshaft cover needs to go back on the exhaust camshaft. What are the odds of that? What are the odds? Hey, you guys know it's real, right? You know it's real stuff. GoPro, stop recording.